Comic Book Savant, Real to Real. Welcome back to the Comic Book Savant podcast. I'm your host, James Harris. This episode, we're going to be doing a Real to Real episode where we're doing a movie review of the recent DC animated release, Deathstroke, Knights and Dragons. This movie, it's been out for a few months now. Should be able to find it readily on in stores. Probably can find it at a discounted rate, and it should also be, if you have HBO Max, you should be able to stream it on there as well. I purchased it and I did see it on HBO Max as well. This was directed by Sung Jin An and written by J.M. DeMatteis. And the breakdown for the movie is as follows. 10 years ago, Slade Wilson, a.k.a. the super assassin called Deathstroke, made a tragic mistake and his wife and son paid a terrible price. Now, a decade later, Wilson's family is threatened once again. The cast is as follows. We have Michael Chiklis as Slade Wilson / Deathstroke. We have Sasha Alexander as Adeline Kane Wilson. We have Asher Bishop as Young Joseph. We have Chris Jai Alex as the Jackal. We have Faye Monta as Jade Wilson / Hive Queen. Colin Solomon as William Wintergreen. And we have Griffin Patel as Joseph Wilson, aka Jericho. This was a animated web series for CW Seed, which is a free streaming service that they have. I think they have an app for it. Excuse me. Or also a website you can go to for CWC that they have a web series that they produce that they put on there, as well as rights to old shows that you can view on there. I think if you have the CW app, it's a free app. Seed shows are embedded within it, but I think it started out as a separate thing and they kind of merged it. So if you have like a smart TV and you can load apps on, or if you have I don't know if it's on Amazon Fire Stick or the Amazon devices. I know you can download the CW app if you have Apple TV. That's my smart TV platform is Apple TV. And you can watch the CW shows. But this show was originally scheduled to be released as an animated short on there. And they've done other ones. They've done like Vixen. They've done a one with the Ray. They've done a multitude of them that were put out on CWC. Then later they packaged episodes similar to this and then released it where you can purchase the movie, physically or via digital platforms as well. But somehow I think that they only aired one episode on the CWC platform and decided that they wanted to go in a different direction. They pulled it and packaged it as all the episodes combined into a movie for direct-to-home video release, which I'm thankful for, because I probably would have never seen it if it was just released on CWC, because I don't really watch that. The animation in this film looks like it's done by pretty much the same team that did another animated film that I reviewed from Warner Brothers Animation, which was Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge, which I really enjoyed. If you haven't listened to that episode, you can do a search for it. I've done it within the past, I think, 6 months or so you should be able to find that review pretty easily. Or you can just search on the website. You can do a search and just do a search for Mortal Kombat Legends, and you should find that episode. Michael Chiklis, Sasha Alexander, Chris Jai Alex chime in with solid performances across the board. I didn't feel like anyone phoned in any of their performances. It was like spot on. And certain times with different animated things, if you know known actors, and we know Michael Chiklis, he's done a multitude of shows. He played Ben Grimm in the Tim Story Fantastic Four movie, so he's not a stranger to superhero comics at all and projects. So he's a veteran. I felt like he really did a good job. Everyone, like I said, came in, brought their A game. I thought the action was very well done, hard hitting and graphic. Again, extremely similar to Scorpion's Revenge, which that was a gory movie. This is a gory movie as well. They don't skimp. It's not for the squeamish. It is not. This is not for little kids. Just because it's animation, this is not meant 13 or older for sure. This is a rated R animated film, and it owns every bit of that rated R rating, just like Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge. Is like, yeah, if you it's a lot of blood being spilled, a lot of limbs being cut. They don't play on that. J.M. DeMatteis is a veteran scripting animation. He does a good job with this script, but not without some flaws and problems along the way. I feel like it got very heavy-handed trying to make Deathstroke come off as this kind of noble anti-hero, which for times hindered me throughout. It seemed to hinder the film for me throughout the runtime. Wilson is really not a good person, and it's reflected at parts of this, but like I said, they go out of their way to kind of try to make him noble with the whole theme of knights and dragons. They play up on this whole nursery rhyme or bedtime story, this fairy tale, but he's not a good person. He kills people for a living, and so it's hard for me to try to make him appear like noble or heroic. It just doesn't fit the character. Yeah, and it's been so many different adaptations of Slade Wilson. I liked the original Teen Titans animated series and how they portrayed Slade. I even like, if you've watched the live action Titans TV show that was on DC Universe, which now has moved over to HBO Max. If you have HBO Max, season 2, they do a great long storyline with the Deathstroke character. And of all people, Esai Morales, known for La Bamba. That's what I always know Esai Morales from, is the brother in La Bamba. I did not know for most of that second season that was Esai Morales. He does a wonderful portrayal of Slade Wilson, and he's not a redeeming character. He can have redeeming qualities, but he's not a noble or heroic character. So try to put that archetype on him doesn't work if you know anything about the character, his history, even what they displayed in this movie. He's not a good guy. He's not. Don't try to do that. He's not. He's not. So stop it. But that's the one problem I could say I really had with the film. Otherwise, it was really fun. This movie definitely may not be for everyone because of the level of violence, gore. That might not be everyone's cup of tea. I'm a diehard like action fan. My comfort food are these kind of films. I'm not into the horror side of certain things and gore and all that kind of stuff, demonic stuff and occult stuff is not or slasher movies. But in action, cutting off a limb and things like that, it doesn't bother me nearly as much. Like in maybe a horror type setting, I could deal with thriller, I could deal with gory action. I guess being a kid that grew up watching the old style crazy kung fu movies and stuff where they were poking people's eyes out, or watching something like Roadhouse as a kid where Patrick Swayze, tear someone's Adam's apple out. Like I'm used to seeing that kind of stuff in an action context, so it's good for me. It doesn't bother me. But if you're squeamish at all for blood, gore, this is not going to be the film for you. And like I said, keep out of reach of children. Let them be at least of age to watch rated R material, or like I said, at least 13 above to view it, because it is messy. It gets messy for sure. But all in all, I really enjoyed it. I like that they're branching off and not everything is direct adaptations from comics proper. That DC animated is going all over the place. Warner Brothers Animation in cooperation with DC are doing a lot of different things. This is not even, I don't think, even classified in their major DC animated releases. It's a DC property, but this is more like under Warner Brothers Animation. I don't think it's tied into any of the larger universe. I think it's a separate story off into itself, which again, I don't mind. They kind of set it up that it might be more. I don't know how successful this was, and will they do a sequel? Because like I said, this was supposed to be a one season animated web series that then they converted over for whatever reason. No reason was ever given why it went. They changed plans like they did. But I feel like this was enjoyable. I bought this on sale for like $9.99 on iTunes. It's worth a pickup for that much. Would I have paid full price for this, a $20+ for a release? Maybe not, but I love these animated direct to home video releases. I've gone back and I think I've picked up like all of the main DC ones that I can find. If they did more of these, I wouldn't be mad at it. Just like, again, in the vein of what I said in my Mortal Kombat Legends review for Scorpion's Revenge, that this is something I feel like they can do if it's successful and they make enough money off of it. I would continue to follow this Deathstroke series in these direct releases if they do more, and it was kind of set up at the end, hinting that the door is open for more, and I'm not opposed to it. So definitely, if you have seen this, and like I said before, if you don't want to purchase it and you want to check it out first, if you have HBO Max, I know a lot of people have it through different venues with their different cell phone providers. I know with mine, I have AT&T. We get HBO Max for free because Warner owns all of that. Or AT&T, whatever the conglomerate is that owns it, businesses. Anyway, I get it for free and it's available on there. So you can, if you have that, check it out. Let me know if you haven't seen it and you do watch it. Let me know what you think of it. Think about the film. As always, I appreciate your support. That's all I have for you guys for this week. As always, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Comic Book Savant. You also, I forgot to give my overall rating. Overall rating for this, I would say I gave the acting a 7 out of 10, casting 7 out of 10, direction 7 out of 10, animation / special effects 8 out of 10. Overall story, I think, is a 6 out of 10 because I felt like it was hampered by them pushing the narrative of him being this noble kind of hero, and he's not. Overall, I gave it a 7 out of 10, which is, I feel like, it's not a must buy, but it's definitely worth picking up. Like I said, for $9.99, it's definitely worth a pickup. But anyway, those are my final thoughts. 7 out of 10, pretty solid animated film. As I was saying, as always, you can find me over at comicbooksavant.com for all the content I do via YouTube, via the podcast, everything Comic Book Savant you can find there at comicbooksavant.com. If you haven't, if you could take a moment to leave a review for the podcast over on iTunes, I would greatly appreciate that. But that's all I have for you guys for this week. Until next time, you guys stay safe, take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.